Hello peeps, it's Hillbilly Halfwit. How are you today? I'm having to do this video inside. Sorry about the yow in the building. She's just come in here now. Basically, I did this video once outside and the wind was so bad it wasn't worth listening to, so I thought I'd come in here and sit in my Land Rover, and now the sheep has decided to come in. It's one of those days. Anyway, what we're going to talk about is Tommy Robinson. Now, you remember we talked the other day about how we thought there was a bit of a setup happening. Whether you like him or not, they were either trying to get him again or create something to happen to tar everybody as bad people for just being worried about their kids with having migrant stations around them, close to schools. Anyway, I think we headed that one off a bit. There was some skirmishes around the place. And remember, I'm nothing to do with the guy. And I've always had a little bit of reservations about him. But at least sorry, just get this thing level. At least I think the other day we saved some people from getting arrested by just being wary. Anyway, what has happened last night? He was walking home through the tube station somewhere in London, I think, and somebody hit him with something. I don't know, was it a bag or whatever? And I noticed he had a mark on his forehead here, a red mark here. And I think they underestimated Mr. Robinson, because Robinson basically gave him a clout and laid him out. So I don't blame the guy. My generation grew up like that. You don't lay your hands on anybody without them saying anything, because if you do, you want to be prepared. I won't have it. I certainly won't have anybody laying their hands on me, and or you'll know about it. And that's how our generation are. Very, very polite until you start taking liberties, as they say. Anyway, he's laid this guy out, and whatever you think of the guy, like I said, I've had some reservations over the years. Nothing at all wrong with that in my opinion. But no, the British police are trying to arrest him now. Again. So it makes you think as if that thing the other week, last week, they missed to arrest him, and now they've tried something to arrest him. That's what automatically went in my head. Trying to create something. Anyway, he's had to leg it abroad apparently. So, what a state for the UK to be in, isn't it? What a state for the UK to be in. A person being attacked, then defending himself, is the one who is supposed to be arrested. When the other, it's like this thing in Israel, isn't it? When the Hamas attack a place, Israel, and a load of people in a concert, and then Israel say, right, we're not having that, give them a hammering, and Israel are to blame. If the event hadn't happened in the first place, like with Tommy, if somebody hadn't attacked him, he'd have just been walking along in the subway going to get his train. You know? And like I say, I've gone through stages where I'm not sure about Tommy. Earlier on, I wasn't sure if he was a bit of a state plant. But as it's gone on, he's been in the slammer a few times. And Paul Thorpe said a while back, even if you like these people or not, I don't follow him a lot. I see him every now and then. And he did a video a while back where he thought Tommy was being a bit of a samurai. Not a samurai, what they call it. Putting himself and his family in danger and putting himself in prison when he doesn't need to. And I sort of agreed with that, to be fair. Kamikaze pilot, he said. It was a good thing that he's got out. Now, I got to say, I think since then I've changed my tune. I'm not totally. Like I say, I'm up here now. I'm better with him than I was a few years ago, where I was a bit more down here. I wasn't sure, but I got to say that thing I saw today was not his fault whatsoever, and he has got some balls to stick up for the country, to be fair, which a lot of people haven't. And I know little bits of things that I do, I get a lot of grief off people for the things that I do. Get called all kinds of names, and just for saying the truth. And say with the farming community, with me, sometimes I just say what I think, and the farming community don't like it a lot, the truth being told. Sorry, I got an itch in my nose. So I've got to have a thick skin as well. Not on the level that he's on, though. So anyway, I hope that gets sorted. But what else? Trump had a press conference yesterday, a live press conference, and it was like 70 to 80 minutes, so over an hour. And Starmer had to sit there, and the press were asking questions that weren't fed to him. So usually he has questions fed to him like a little puppy, and he's got his little notes ready for him. He didn't have that yesterday, and he was completely blindsided by Bev Turner. So Bev asked him some brilliant questions, like I said yesterday, and he came out looking like a twat, to be honest. Trump was pro-farming, anti-immigration, and low taxes, like pretty much all of us. Let's be honest. These days, you're supposed to be an extremist if you believe in pro-farming, low taxes, and anti-mass migration. It's two basic things, three basic things. And all we want to do is have our borders forced properly. Stopping illegal people coming in here. I don't mind if people come in here to work and say we are short of something, people in the NHS or in that area or that area. Then you say, oh, we might need 20, 30 this year. Do the same as in Australia and have them on, they're only allowed you for a couple of years while they work and make some money. And if they've been good and they haven't committed any crimes, they can stay here. But if they have done anything, out. Now, I remember a time when I was younger, when Thatcher was around. I know she's a divisive person, but as I look back now, 30,000 people a year was all that was coming in to the UK. So there's more than that coming on small boats now. There's 1 million people a year. Half the population of Wales, there's about 2 million people, just over 2 million people live in Wales, and half the population of Wales is coming in of migration every year to replace us all. And we're not allowed to say that for fear of this new group that I was talking about in my last video. You're not allowed to say bad things. You're not allowed to not agree with mass migration. You're not allowed to say that we're worried that our capital city is no longer mainly white. We're not allowed to worry that Sharia law is coming into our capital cities. Loads of the white working class people have been pushed out. No more white East Enders. You know, proper old school East Enders people around. It's terrifying to think you can't say things like that anymore. It's sinister, that's what it is. And I'm going to keep saying stuff. I know not everybody agrees with me, but maybe lots are scared to say it. That's what I think a lot of it is. But anyway, I think that's the one for today. I just had to say something about that because he was supposed to go to a march the other day and he didn't go. And I think there was a march on the 13th of this month of September or something, or the 13th of August. And it looks like now, because of that incident last night, he's had to leg it out of the country. So everybody will have a different opinion on it all. But I do think you've got to be smart now with protesting, like I mentioned the other day, is maybe the women do a lot of it. Don't be spur of the moment stuff, I think. But, I've said this about the farming thing, and some of the farming lot go a bit irate about it, but I was right about it. It doesn't get anything done. Trump got more done yesterday in an hour and a half than all the protesting that's been done, to be honest. And everybody's well-meaning. It's nothing against them. It's just I don't think marches do anything unless they're spur-of-the-moment things that nobody can deal with, like the fuel strike that happened in the UK years ago. They couldn't handle that. That nearly brought the Labour government down within a week. That was serious. All they did was block things up. That's the way to deal with things. Be very, very, what's called about it all, en masse. But I'm not saying that, am I? So there we are. That's the one for today. So I'm sitting in my shed just to do this video. I'm actually outside doing some stuff. But it was too windy. So please subscribe. Really appreciate you commenting and sharing and subscribing. I always try to read every comment and at least put something on there to say that I've read it anyway. So cheers, all the best, guys.